Yo, we back with another one, man. So Jim Jones, he been out here wilding, talking about he better than Nas and check the billboard numbers and there's all type of crazy stuff, man. So we gonna see if what Jim Jones said was true. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Shout out to my guy Flacco, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's go.
On Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco earlier tonight. Jim Jones was on Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco earlier tonight. And he got destroyed and embarrassed by Shannon Sharpe. I was watching this and even I felt bad for Jim Jones. Shannon Sharpe is actually a really huge fan of Nas, so he wanted to confront Jim Jones about these comments that Jim Jones made on Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast earlier in his week.
He's a hater. You hate, man. You be hating. Like Jim Jones, give you your props and then dish you right after that. Yeah, I like those shoes, man. Them shoes is fight. But you know me, I got some chrome hearts with a chain on it that go from my belt to my belt loop to the belt buckle to the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you ain't rocking with those, but your shoes fire. He one of them type dudes.
Influence and who's better, that's purely subjective. Purely. Somebody can hear Jim Jones rap and think Jim Jones is a better rapper than Nas, and vice versa. But what's not subjective are the numbers, the accolades, and the facts. And those are the things that Jim Jones lied about. Jim Jones will say that he has more Billboard entries than Nas, more platinum records, more hits. Well, that's just not true. Even by the metrics that Jim Jones brought up, he loses every time. Jim Jones wanted the solo artist stats, so we're just looking at the solo artist stats. Nas has about 5 or 6 platinum albums. Jim Jones don't have a platinum album.
Jimmy, you told us to look at the Billboard and you lied, nigga. You didn't know, nigga. See? And that's what I mean. You told us to go look at the Billboard. You didn't even look at the Billboard. Nas is killing you on the Billboard. Get into some more stuff like, man, let's go. This is crazy.
Nas has, I believe, 1 or maybe 2 platinum singles. Jim Jones has 1 or 2, depending on how you look at it. The We Fly High and then the We Fly High remix, I believe, are both platinum. But nonetheless, though, just by the single artist stats, Nas is outperforming Jim Jones. Now, if we look at Billboard entries, Nas is also outperforming Jim Jones. Nas has 15 plus Billboard Hot 100 entries. Jim Jones have 2 Billboard Hot 100 entries. So, yeah, Nas win this as well. So I don't know why he was asking us to pull up Nas' Billboard stats and his Billboard stats as if he was going to outperform Nas, which is just not true whatsoever. Jim Jones is the first man over 6 feet tall that has little man syndrome. He has confidence, like super confidence, that can sometimes appear to be delusion. Jim Jones feels like hip-hop is leaving him behind, that when people tell the history of his era, he's often not included and that his influences are disregarded. Which, for the most part, he's kind of right? Like, right now, when we were Chrome Hearts, we don't think about Jim Jones.
No, the problem is that even when you give Jimmy his credit, he still want to find a way to diss you. That's the damn problem right there. That's the problem. He needs to learn how to accept when people is giving him credit for what he did and not be trying to be like, no, don't y'all giving me credit for this, but no, I did this too. Because you look up, you get to talk too fast, but you done told a damn lie. You done lied. So we can't even give you credit for, how we gonna give you credit for something you lied about? You lied about the Billboard, but you told us to go look at it. You know what I'm saying? You said you had more hits than Nas than that, but you don't, clearly. I don't know what it is, man. I think Jimmy did, a lot for the game as far as like music addressing and stuff like that. But I just think like he has such a problem with his emotions that he can't control. He want to be mad at everybody for what he feel like they should be saying. That's how he is. Like, if he feel like it's something you should be saying that you didn't say, now he mad. He got an attitude. I'm emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's what he say all the time. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I'm going to be out here like Jim Jones, emotional, crying because y'all didn't hit the like button. So do that.
We wear the belts. We don't think about Jim Jones. When we think about, like most of the fashion trends that that's been like resurfacing within the last, I don't know, 5 years or so, that comes from Jim Jones. But that's the fashion, not the music, right? And you can definitely demand your credit in the fashion without overreaching or trying to compare yourself to somebody like Nas, who most people will put in their top 10 rappers of all time category. Shannon Sharpe tries to tell Jim Jones exactly what I just said, tries to let him know he's somewhat delusional. Jim Jones wasn't going for it, and it ended up very heated.
Life right now, you know what I mean? The more I bless people, the more I get blessed. And it's just a testament of how
Shannon Sharpe looked disgusted. You see how Shannon Sharpe hey, Shannon Sharpe looking like, I really got to react to this. Y'all really got Jim Jones on my platform saying he better than Nas. Like, look at his face. He disgusted that this is even a thing. That's crazy.
hard work and being resilient and being real with yourself. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
You smoke, right?
Yeah.
Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
And
I might have been a little bit. Well, as far
shots fired. Shots fired. Yeah. Was you smoking when you said you better than Nas? Wow.
let's get this right. I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo boo when we talk about the sales.
I made a little boo boo.
I feel like get into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
Well, you said that
but
bullshit.
listen,
You don't get to make an argument solely around one thing, and then once that thing get disproven, you want to pivot the argument to another thing. The argument that you was talking about wasn't about influence. You was talking about, catalog for catalog, Nas' catalog ain't messing with Miles. Look at the Billboard charts and come back to me. We looked at the Billboard charts and came back to Jim Jones, and now Jim Jones is trying to change the conversation.
but listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Mm-hmm. Nas was dope. We appreciated him. He had a little bit run. But Nas always came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like,
ain't no shame in that. There a lot of mofos came up second to Tom Brady.
He never had that type of influence on us.
Skip. About to have Shannon Sharpe calling him Skip. Shannon Sharpe thinking he battling with Skip. He can't believe what's coming out of Jim Jones' mouth.
Except for his first album. I already told you, I used to want to dress like Nas because he had a lot of fresh clothes that the hustlers used to wear and shit. I used to see him on TV. He had one of the illest albums of all time. And then in high school when he had the barbecue and shit like that. So I'm a real fan of Nas, but he kind of lost me after the movie Belly and shit like that. Like, I don't.
Man, go ahead on with that, Jim.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm being honest. You ask me, I'm being a fan. I'm telling you, the movie Belly was fire, but after that, he kind of lost me. I think we was way too much into the game. Remember how this goes. You ever heard of a Kofi list?
Yeah.
Yo, go back into your history and find out what happened between us and him. You dig? And I'm not trying to repeat history, but don't play with us when it comes to that, bro. We already when.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Speaking of that Kofi list, it was a lot of dudes that got their Kofi smacked off their head. I ain't finna get on here and say y'all name or nothing like that. But me and my nigga, not here real from Dipset, but me and my nigga real. We took that, we started that, and we ran with it. So I get Jim Jones that. When he started that Kofi list, we came up with a Kofi list too, man. And we was knocking niggas Kofis right off their head. Like I said, I ain't gonna say no name, but man, you niggas know. And you niggas know who you is. We knocking them Kofis right off y'all motherfucking head. You hear me? Them Kofi not clean off your head. And we was really on there like that. So I give Jim Jones some credit for the Kofi list. He definitely started the Kofi list.
Went wild on them boys. You heard?
Yeah, went wild. We was wild on them too.
Hey, Jim.
And people out here acting like I said I'm gonna bring the Kofi list back. I just told you I'm gonna change man. Stephen Law. Can you dig?
Nah, look. I'm putting it like this, Jim.
2025, I might have to bring the Kofi list back. You know what I'm saying? Get the knocking Kofis off heads again around us.
Hey, bro, you been at this thing, but lyrically, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Jim Jones' emotions and confidence is so fragile that he begins to go personal. Shannon Sharpe was only talking about music, talking about rap skills.
Oh, he can't take
Jim Jones then began to take a dig at Shannon Sharpe's wardrobe and how he dressed. And he's sort of dog whistling, the sexuality questions regarding Shannon Sharpe as well. So Shannon Sharpe sees this, he takes notice of it, and Shannon Sharpe begins to dig back as well. But Jim Jones didn't know it at the time, but he was sort of digging himself into a hole that he wasn't going to get out of. Because essentially what he did right here was gave Shannon Sharpe any and all justification that when Shannon Sharpe really wanted to bleed him, he could bleed him, right? Shannon Sharpe could really roast him and make him feel really small, which takes place later in this podcast.
Yeah,
Y'all
but look
ain't
how you
effing with
dress.
Nas.
Look how you dress. You don't even be in the same places I be in. And the
But
things that we listen to.
See what I'm saying? Every time you don't say what Jim Jones wants you to say, he do that. He get mad every time.
You can be in the church house. You can't F with Nas lyrics. I don't know who told you that. Now look, y'all know you on that good stuff, but you're not seeing Nas. You're not seeing Nas, bro. Let's be real.
You got a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better than Nas.
It don't matter.
Look at you. Look at you.
Ain't nobody from Dipset gonna take you over Nas. Nobody from the Diplomats but you.
Hold on,
Jim.
hold on. Jimmy,
And I'm just gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna even lie. Like I said, Jim did what he did, but if I had a choice, I gotta roll with my nigga Cam. I get computers Putin. Who else get computers Putin? I don't know another nigga that get computers Putin. Hey, if you get computers Putin, you too raw for me. I have to go with Cam. Now I ain't gonna lie. Now, Jewels in the I Can't Feel My Face era undefeated. I ain't talking about now with the pouches he's selling in the chain. That's doodoo. That get a 10 on my doodle meter. That's doodle now. What he doing with it now, that's straight doodle. But back then, when him and Lil Wayne, the I Can't Feel My Face era, you couldn't touch Jewels. And I would have took him. But all that just went downhill. That went down the drain. Cam was still out here getting the computers Putin, moving that Ochocinco, all that. So, you know what I'm saying? I would have to go with Cam, man. That's the crazy part. I thought Jewels was going to end up being the best one to Dipset. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy had his little records here and there. But come on, man. Like, you ain't touching old boy. Like, you ain't touching, you know what I'm saying? Like, Welcome to New York. You ain't touching Get 'Em Girl. You not touching Get 'Em Daddy. You not touching Down and Out. Like, you ain't even better than Cam. So you can't be better than Nas, bro. Like, Cam got it, bro. I'm trying to tell you, niggas, get them computers Putin. It is what it is, man. Cam the best one, if you ask me.
Jimmy.
You want to go back to I Really Mean It? I Really Mean It started. We could go back to the history, bro.
For you to even say that,
bro. Don't do that, bro. That's
Hold on.
I
got a question.
Let Nas stick up for itself and meet me in a booth for something if we want to do something historical.
Nas say he don't do that no more. Nas say he don't do that.
Because he got $100 million. He's a very wealthy man. You heard he's a very smart businessman. He called a couple business clicks.
Hold on. Jimmy, hold on. I got a question.
Jim Jones gets so upset.
And I ain't gonna lie, Jim Jones would have had $100 million, but shit, ain't nobody buying them Vampire Life clothes. You know what I mean? We was gonna cop the Vampire Life clothes, but it looked too much like the Louis Vuitton. So the Louis Vuitton logo and the Vampire Life logo looked too much alike, and that's why we didn't buy the Vampire Life clothes. Why would we do that? We need to go buy the Louis Vuitton. It looked the same. He really tried to steal Louis Vuitton logo and call it the Vampire Life, and we ain't want it. So, you know, you could have had $100 million too, man. Niggas just doing bad business. You knew Dame Dash was doing bad business with everybody, and you went and did some bad business with him. So, you know, it is what it is.
Gets so upset that Shannon Sharpe don't agree with him, and he's arguing him down. That Jim Jones then said quite possibly the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard anyone say. Jim Jones then said that Shannon Sharpe, by the way, the owner of Club Shay Shay, who got an interview on his platform that has surpassed over 80 million views, that Shannon Sharpe, who has multiple YouTube channels with over 1 million subscribers, that Shannon Sharpe apparently is clickbaiting and brought Jim Jones on to get him views and to turn up his podcast. Jim Jones really believes that he's providing Shannon Sharpe with a stimulus package and that Shannon Sharpe needs him for views. That's when Shannon Sharpe had to put him in his place, man.
I can sing more Nas records than you right now. So you are capping. You are capping. That's what you're doing.
First of all, bro,
you are
I'm about to be
capping.
50.
I'm a bigger Nas fan than you are. You are capping.
First of all, I'm 57. I don't be singing no rap. I don't be singing no rap.
You see what I'm saying, Ocho? He don't even know about rap. He just doing this for the views to get Jim Jones on it.
Shannon Sharpe, Skip. Skip, I don't even rap, Skip. I go rap, Skip. What the hell?
Get him hot. I understand. But you don't
Get
know
him hot.
You don't know Nas.
You better check the podcast space. Now you better talk.
Sing 16.
Hey, this the biggest podcast you ever been on.
Name one Nas record.
This the biggest podcast you ever been on.
Biggest podcast. Skip.
Hold on.
Y'all hit the skip button. Skip.
This is what I do. You see,
it's like Ocho wasn't even there. It's like Ocho ain't even there.
Podcast you been on bigger than this. When you get big, you get invited to Club Shay Shay.
This is what I do.
Ocho better than me. I would have went and made a sandwich or something.
Jadakiss get invited to Club Shay Shay. You not on that level yet, bro.
It's for little young.
I ain't trying to talk between two grown men that's arguing back and forth with each other. I'm going to make a sandwich. No cap. I'm going to eat a sandwich, bro. Like, it ain't no. Why y'all going back and forth and I can't talk? It's supposed to be 3 people on the show. Y'all 2 want to talk to each other and don't want to let me get a word in. Cool. Finna go grab me some Kool-Aid, some sandwiches. Then I'm going to come back and eat and just let y'all battle it out. And then when it's my turn to talk, I'm going to talk. But I'm not finna be putting no energy into talking over both of you nice gentlemen. Like, no, I'm not finna do that.
Hello?
White girl, chill out.
We off topic.
Don't play with me, bro. Chill out.
Off topic.
You dealing with the wrong one, bro.
Right here, bro.
I don't care nothing about nothing that shit you got to say, bro. You might as well take me off this shit.
We here. You can't out
Leave
talk
me alone, bro.
You might can out rap me, but you can't out talk me.
Don't nobody want to go to Club Shay Shay. Nobody want to buy no VIP tickets to that shit. Nobody rushing to go to that shit.
You ain't got nothing you ever been on.
Club Shay Shay.
Hey,
you got a good podcast.
You get an invite.
You do got a good podcast.
Nobody listening to me.
The podcast is tremendous. You and Ocho do your thing, but don't get it twisted, bro.
Right.
I don't care nothing about no fucking podcast, bro.
That's exactly what I mean when I say Jim Jones and his confidence can somehow lead into delusion. This man really stated with a straight face that him being on Shannon Sharpe's podcast is gonna get Shannon Sharpe hot again. As if Shannon Sharpe don't have like top 5 biggest podcasts in the world right now. I don't know, man. Jim, the Nas argument isn't really the way. You don't need to do that, bro. Right? Like to get your credit. You could get your credit other ways, man. All right. Maybe build something, right? Like build your own podcast. Maybe build your own fashion brand. All right. If you can make Chrome Hearts hot, if you can make the BB Bells hot, you could go.
Like, he had the Vampire Light, but he copied the Louis Vuitton. That shit ain't sell. Ain't nobody want it.
You had to start your own fashion brand and get hot that way. Go the Yeezy route. You don't have to do these things, man. Because the more you do these things, the more you get discredited. The more people take away credit from you because you embarrass yourself and you make yourself look crazy. Let me know in the comments.
All right, man. It is what it is. Point blank period. Jim Jones ain't better than Nas, man. That's all I got to say, man. It's your boy Buddha. I'm out.